Hello, I'm Alexander, and today we're talking about three legendary budget headphones. The Koss KSC75 with a headband modification, the Koss Porta Pro, and the Koss KPH40 utility. Now, if you're into budget audiophile gear, you definitely heard about these three. They're often compared, and for good reason. They all share the same Koss DNA, the same general sound philosophy, and they're all very affordable, even with small modifications. And in this video, we'll compare their build, comfort, and sound. All three of these headphones fall into what I'd call accessible audiophile category. They're all cheap, they're relatively easy to drive, and they all deliver an absurd amount of sound quality for the money. Another reason they are in the same category, they're all on-ear, open-back headphones. This means they don't isolate very well, they leak sound, but they give you that airy, spacious feel that's usually missing from a budget closed-back headphones. And they're also all incredibly lightweight, so in a way, the three are like siblings, similar DNA, different personalities. First, let's talk about the price, because it's one of the biggest selling points. The KSC75 itself costs around $20. The headband swap will cost you around $8 and about $12 for Yaxi pads, so you're looking at around $40 in total. The Porta Pro is usually around $50 plus another $12 for Yaxi pads, so about $62 total. The KPH40 utility is $40 for the headphones plus $12 for Yaxi pads, which makes it a $52 total. The Yaxi pads increase the base cost, but the comfort and sonic improvement are absolutely worth it. Overall, we're in $40 to $60 range, and I will leave all the links to the products, including discount codes, in the description of this video. Talking about the build, let's be real, none of these headphones are built like tanks. They're all plastic heavy and feel cheap compared to premium headphones, but for the price, they're fine. The KSC75 feels the flimsiest, especially because of the modded headbands and thin cable, and you don't want to throw this in a backpack without protection. The Porta Pro feels the most durable, despite its folding headband design and adjusting mechanism. The cable on Porta Pro is also the best out of the three. The KPH40 utility feels the most modern. The headband is sturdy, the cable is detachable, unfortunately not in the way we all wanted it, but overall it just inspires more confidence than the other two. Comfort is another huge factor, especially for on-ear designs, but it's very subjective. The KSC75 with the headband mod and Yaxi pads is surprisingly comfortable. The lightweight design basically disappears on your head, and the Yaxi pads add softness. But the clamping force of the headband can vary depending on the modification, though with the exact mod as you see in this video, the KSC75 has the least clamping force out of the three. By the way, I have a full video about modding KSC75 on my channel, so take a look if you would like to modify your KSC75 like I did. The Porta Pro has that classic comfort slider, which helps adjust a clamping force. With Yaxi pads it's quite comfy, but the metal headband can feel a bit old school and less secure, and it's also famous for grabbing hair. Also, for me, the Porta Pros have the most clamp force compared to the other two, even with the comfort slider in the light position. The KPH40 utility headband design is modern, light, and sits perfectly on my head without hotspots. The clamping force is here between modded KSC75 and Porta Pros. With the Yaxi pads, personally for me the modded KSC75 is by far the most comfortable out of the three for long listening sessions. Before we talk about the sound, please note that all sound impressions in my reviews are completely subjective. You should take them with a grain of salt. Also, as I have installed Yaxi pads on all of the three pairs, I think this will be a fair comparison. Let's start with the bass, because that's where these headphones differ the most. The KSC75 has the lightest bass out of the three. It's clean, quick and punchy, but not most satisfying if you're into pop, EDM or hip-hop. Great for acoustic music and rock music though. The Porta Pro is famous for its bass. It hits hard, it's warm, it's fun, but it bleeds into mid-range, giving it a slightly muddy character. The KPH40 utility sits in a sweet spot. It has more bass than the KSC75 and less bass than Porta Pro, but the bass here is tighter and more controlled in comparison with the bass on Porta Pro. So I'd say it's fun without being overwhelming, and for me it's the most balanced bass presentation out of the three. Mid-range is where a lot of Koss charm lives. The KSC75 pushes mids forward with clarity. Vocals sound crisp and energetic, guitars shine and have a good bite, and the music feels lively. But at times it can come across as a bit thin, and upper mid-range can also sound slightly harsh to some people. The mid-range on the Porta Pro is warm and lush. The vocals are smooth, but sometimes slightly wailed compared to the KSC75. Overall, the mid-range here is cozy, but not the most clean and well-defined. KPH40 utility nails the middle ground. Vocals sound natural, instruments feel accurate, and you don't lose either warmth or detail. The mid-range here is balanced without leaning too far into the warm or bright territory. Now let's talk about the treble. The KSC75 has the brightest treble out of the three. It's sparkly, energetic, and brings out a lot of detail. But for some listeners it can feel a bit sharp or fatiguing, especially on poor recordings. The Porta Pro sits on the opposite side of the spectrum. Its treble is rolled off, it's smooth and very forgiving. The downside is that you lose some detail and air. The KPH40 utility again finds a balance. Its treble is smoother than the KSC75, but it's more extended than the treble on Porta Pro. You get more details without the treble being harsh or grainy. And for long listening sessions, I'd be choosing between this and Porta Pros. The soundstage comparison will not be very accurate, and it's also very subjective, but I still want to say a few words about it. The KSC75 with Parts Express headband mod, as seen in this video, has the widest soundstage out of the three, followed by KPH40 utility. The Porta Pros have the most narrow soundstage out of the three. The soundstage depth and height is average among all three headphones, so there's nothing to write home about. Still, as the headphones are a semi-open back, they provide a natural and airy sound presentation, and this will be especially noticeable if you are coming from a budget closed-back headphones. Let's summarize. So which one should you choose? If you want sparkle, detail and energy on a budget and you're willing to do a headband modification, then the KSC75 is an amazing choice. Plus, it's the least expensive even with the mods. If you love warmth, want more bass and have 80s nostalgia, the Porta Pro delivers a fun, classic sound that is lush and forgiving, especially with not so well recorded music. KPH40 utility strikes the best balance. So if you've been on the fence about which Koss headphone to grab and mod with Yaxi pads, I'd say KPH40 utility makes a good middle ground, and it just feels to me like the best evolution of that legendary Koss sound. And that concludes my review for today. If you have tried these headphones yourself, let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.